of what you've done or what you've learned along the way is really helpful. So any tips or tricks that you have learned would be really helpful to share.
Yeah, of course. What helps me the most? Actually, I made a post about this just last week, about what helped me the most in my own journey, tools wise, what's helped me, I guess. Books are definitely a good part of that, but I feel like I've definitely learned more from both experience and just the people that I have put in my circle in the past 3 years. First form will do that to you. I spent, let's see, when I joined the Legionnaire team in early 2023, I was 36 years old. Um, and I felt old at the time, like joining the Legionnaire program at age 36. And coming to find out that there's actually tons of others that are
Is there really?
even. And some of the coaches on my very team are older than I am. I'll be 39 this year, not 40 yet. Not yet, what was
Not
closer in on me, but I'm excited for it now. I don't know, I didn't used to be excited about getting older just because I didn't feel like I had anything to look forward to. Life was tough. Life hasn't been easy. But yeah, now I'm getting off track again. But what's helped me the most is probably the people that I put in my circle. Their knowledge, expertise, just learning from others is that's how I learn best is hands-on, opposed to books definitely help put, like, different perspectives on things, but the people that I've surrounded myself with in the last few years have helped me grow tremendously, as well as, when it comes to healthy habits, learning to track my macros. I spun my wheels for years trying to get somewhere with my physique. I did all the yo-yo dieting. I tried Weight Watchers after I gained the freshman 15 with my college roommate. We both did it. Of course, yeah, it works for a while until it doesn't.
doesn't.
Yeah, it works until it doesn't. That's everybody's famous words when it comes to all the crazy diets. But finally, after years of I competed in bikini competitions for off and on from 2014 till I think 2019 was my last show. But within that time frame, all I did was yo-yo diet. It was either I was in contest prep and I was all in, 75 hard style, all in,
Oh,
and then completely off the plan when the show was over. No one taught me about reverse dieting or any balance or macros or any of that. So after my show in 2019, again, gained back, 10 to 15 pounds easy, was again uncomfortable. Yes, I had more muscle on me, so I did feel better than I did after that first competition, but it still wasn't where I wanted to be. So I hired a coach to teach me macros. That was a game changer.
before you joined First Form?
This was before I joined First Form, and I had done it in a different app. I don't even remember what the app was. And then after that, that kind of sparked my want to coach others. So I had my CPT from NASA. But I wanted to do nutrition coaching as well. So I got the precision nutrition, PN1 nutrition coaching certification, and then found First Form. So after I got done working with her and she taught me everything she knew, and of course, I think I worked with her for like 6 months and really got those macros down pat, knew what they meant, knew kind of how to adjust them for myself, and got into the First Form app and did my first challenge with First Form. I think it was 2021. Yeah, one of the first 8-week transformation challenges there in the app. Or I think maybe 2020 was the first year they had the app. But yeah, anyways, I entered that challenge, did well, it helped me change my physique. And then I just continued doing those and just keeping those habits in check, making sure I'm hitting my protein, calories, understanding that those are the most important things. Having a program to follow when it comes to workouts was huge. It wasn't just, "Oh, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to join this class today, or today I'm going to go into the weight room and I'm going to lift." Like, there was no plan before. Kind of hard to progress when you don't have a plan, right, with literally anything in life. So, yeah, huge changes made with that app. Huge changes made with just surrounding myself with better people, people who wanted to root for me and who actually added value to my life, and not just people who were just there to be there, or they've just always been there. I've had girlfriends that I'm still friends with. I feel like we're more of acquaintances these days, but
Mhm.
known them since I was in grade school. But they don't necessarily serve me anymore in my life. I love them and I'll continue to check on them. But yeah, I'm currently looking for some new friendships. A big reason why I'm so excited for this move is just to be able to surround myself with those people daily. Whereas now, being a remote employee, it's hard to make those connections on a deeper level that I want. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, no, I was thinking, so you brought up a really good point, and I've heard this, I'm sure you have too, with people that are looking to make any change, but particularly physical fitness. You surround yourself with the same people, and it's really hard to break out of the habits that you've created with those people, even though you're like, yes, this time I'm going to do it. And then you add in the fact that you're a remote employee. So the people that have motivated or you feel like are connected to you are across the screen.
Yeah.
How have you stayed, one, engaged with those people, building those relationships on a virtual basis? And then how have you stayed motivated from a physical fitness standpoint with people that maybe were around you that weren't necessarily on your same mind track?
Yeah. I mean, it definitely was hard. And I think it held me back for years, continuing to seek hanging out with them. My previous friends, my friends from here, they like to drink every weekend. Shoot, sometimes every night, you know, have a nightcap, have a glass of wine. If it's girls' night, we're having wine and we're having food, and everything revolves around alcohol and food. And so I feel like that held me back a lot. And the fact that, I mean, a couple of my girlfriends, they work out,
Mm.
but it's kind of more or less on a basis of when they want to, when they don't want to. It's not necessarily that like priority factor for them, where that's where it is for me and it has been for years. So kind of letting go of those relationships a little bit and just realizing that friendships don't necessarily last forever always, or they evolve and they turn into something different they didn't necessarily used to be.
Mhm.
But getting myself away from the, "Hey, let's hang out and drink" vibe has
Yeah,
been extremely helpful. And in fact, this year I have not drank one drop of alcohol and I made it a point not to.
good for
So
you.
we're not
Yeah.
drinking at all this year. We're going to have fun without it. And if that deters my friends from hanging out with me, then so be it. That's not on me, that's on them.
What have you found to be the big mental transformation over the last couple of years since you got off the yo-yo dieting and, you know, got your feet under you, started to develop healthy habits and
Great question. Mentally, I have been all over the place in the past year and a half. Backstory, and I'll try and keep it quick,
okay.
not drag on. Let's see, 2021. My mother-in-law passed away and was COVID time. There was like one person allowed in her room at a time, which was bullshit. Excuse my language. Can I
Totally fine.
it'll flip out again? Uh, but yeah, so that happened, and that was really rough on us, really rough on my husband. He was
Mhm.
his mom's only child, was very
Good.
close with his mama his whole life. She was wonderful, wonderful human, and I wish that I would have had more time to get to know her. I am happy that we were able to get married and that we decided to get married out at his parents' farm, and her parents all got to be there.
Oh,
Her stepmom had passed away after our wedding as well. So there's been a lot of deaths in the family. That's been rough. And that's kind of where I'm going with this. So his mom passed away 2021. Fast forward to 2023, his dad's business was kind of struggling a little bit. and he was struggling with his health, and we were financially struggling here ourselves. And then his dad passed away in December of 2023. So now
Yeah.
my husband's lost both of his parents. Been
Mhm.
very rough. My husband worked for his dad full time. That's what he did. He was his assistant. He was his secretary. He was everything that his dad didn't do at the chiropractic business. My husband did.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So we lost his dad. Now he's also lost a job. His dad had no will in place. So we had
Oh,
this whole big estate thing that we had to go through, which we are still wrapping up currently, by the way. Um,
not over yet.
yeah, yeah. So we had a very rough like year and a half. Things didn't really start looking up until I landed this job with First Form in October. But meanwhile, I had started in the Legionnaire program in March of 2023. And I was making it my mission to just go all in on this. And I was working a full time job whilst doing it. But I started to do very well leading up to his dad's passing. My best month in the program was November 2023. And I got several people results in the app. Transformations were made, and I was very proud of myself for continuing to go. And I think that having those people that were relying on me to help them was
Mhm.
something huge that helped my mindset of I can't, life sucks,
Yeah.
sometimes it just sucks. Shit happens and there's nothing you can do about it. And I just wanted to keep going for them. I didn't want to let anybody down. So I put a lot of pressure on myself, which tough, but we did it anyways and we got through it. I had two clients during the no, it was yeah, over the fall and the New Year's transformation challenges, 2023 fall, 2024 New Year's. One guy lost 50 pounds, the other guy lost 80 pounds. They were both off of all their meds. And that kind of lit a fire under my ass to carry on.
Yeah.
Hey, this is happening. We're starting to get referrals now. Things were just picking up and looking up. Granted, when this whole, estate crap went down, that was a huge stressor on all of us. And I feel like I spent all of last year just trying to keep our heads above water, just barely getting by. So I recently started 75 hard because I needed something that was going to kick my ass because I spent all of like the whole end of last year just kind of like I said, just trying to get by, just trying to get to the next day,
Mhm.
the next month. So yeah, 75 hard was a huge it's always been that for me. The first time I did 75 hard was in 2021. I'm pretty sure I ran it with one of the challenges
Okay.
that year. Ran it again with my husband over what was that? 2022, something like that. We went to visit his grandpa and continued on with 75 hard during that whole 8-hour drive or 8 to Texas and, that day and all of that, I figured if we can do that, we can do anything.
That's right.
But yeah, it was funny. We went down there to visit his grandpa after his grandma had passed. His grandpa, for, reference, is 104 years old.
No, my gosh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, he's still kicking. He lives in, uh, like an hour away from us now, no longer in Texas, so it's a lot easier to see him. We get to hang out with the family. We make it a point to see, his mom's side of the family
Mm.
still, like once a month, because yeah, they're good people.
So how would you or what would you tell people? Because it sounds like from your story, you've been through a lot, but you've used that time to kind of double down on consistency, your discipline, your mental approach to the circumstances and controlling what you can control. And I hear a lot too where people, it's like, since everything's going wrong, they just let everything go. It's like, I don't have to, I can't even think about working out. Who cares what I put in my mouth? I'm just trying to get through. this time, and then the time may go and they still continue those habits. So what are your suggestions for people that maybe are going through something right now, or just how do they get started when it's so easy to get sucked down that spiral of just
Yeah. I would say, I mean, really control what you can control, that alone. The problems aren't going to go away, right? Life happens no matter what you do. You
yeah.
could be doing literally everything right and shit will still happen. And if you let those things just completely throw you off of all of your principles, then you're never going to get anywhere. So I just always think about, I don't know, I had a lot of time wasted in my young adult life. Um, and I try not to waste that time anymore, try to control things that I
Wait.
can't control.
Yeah. So just on that, what about it did you feel like was wasted? Because I feel like that's probably a common feeling for people as we get older and look back. It's like, I didn't do the things I should have done. But maybe can you just share from your perspective?
Yeah,
What?
and I didn't know if this would come up or not. I'm totally comfortable sharing. I've talked about it before. I spent 10 years, 10? Let me see, 2, no, not 10, 6.5 years in a abusive relationship when I was young. 6 years wasted of my life is what I like to think of it as. I mean, maybe it's not wasted completely. I learned from it. Um,
Uh-huh.
and have moved on, but I spent 6 years there in that miserable place, and I I could have controlled that. I could have left if I had a stronger mindset. If I knew that, narcissists like to they tell you lies about yourself that they want you to believe so that you feel shitty and you stay. They say things like no one else will love you. You're
Mm.
you're not worth it. No one else is gonna date you, and you believe it. And so I wasted so much time there that when my daughter and I left that relationship, it was like, well, we gotta do something with our life. We gotta figure this out. I never wanted a job so bad in my life after I left that relationship. It was like freedom, you know, to go out and chase the dreams that I had, which is when I ended up getting my NASM certification. Was long after that. I worked as a fun fact. I have a degree in graphic design that I'm
Did
doing
not
absolutely nothing with. It was quite frankly probably a waste of 4 years and lots of money. However, it is what it is. I mean, I use my skills, if you will, but Canva has just completely.
changed everything. Yes, I agree.
If I was still working as a graphic designer, I'd be pissed at Canva. Like,
100%.
so easy. It's like graphic design for dummies. It's amazing. I use it. I subscribe to it. Don't get me wrong.
Me too.
In the back of my head, I'm slightly irritated with it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's kind of why I don't know. I guess I look at life in that
Mhm.
manner of why sit here and worry about. I mean, I worry. Don't get me wrong. I worry. I worry all the time. I'm a mother.
Yes.
Worry about my child every day, day in, day out.
It never goes away, does it?
No, it really doesn't. It really doesn't. And I worry about my husband, and worry about his health. I worry about my daughter's health. I worry about the pets every day. We have 2 dogs and 2 cats. They're a lot of energy, but I love them just the same.
Energy and love.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
If you were gonna talk to someone about building new habits or better habits and getting started,
Mhm.
we're really inspired, we're really motivated, like, we hit go on January 1st and it's like, "It's gonna be amazing," and then, by January 14th, it's like, "Well, it's not that important." How do you help people tie what they want to the plan, to the consistency that's needed to execute the plan when the motivation's lost? What words of wisdom do you have for people?
How bad do you want it? No, but I mean, really, that's kinda what it comes down to, but, like, why are you doing this? Why do you want this goal at the end of the day? And exactly how bad do you want to get there? Because if you don't If the why behind what you're doing isn't strong enough, then you're not going to be dedicated to it.
Mhm.
Just aren't. So there has to be a big reason why. Um, and you have to constantly think about that. And as far as habits go, it's best to start small and
Okay.
work your way up. I see this with Legionnaires all the time. I'm onboarding somebody new and they've received 4 emails and a separate email from me and a text message from me. And now they have to download an app and they have to learn how to log into their back office and they have to, there's this whole list of things and they can get so overwhelmed. Um, so we go at it from let's do this
Mhm.
week. Okay. And then we do that well. Next week, we'll add this, and we just do it that way. And it was the same way with my nutrition clients as well with habits. Like, okay, this week, let's just hit our protein goal.
Okay.
Simply just focus on that. And then once we've got that down pat, okay, now let's try and hit calories too. Once that's down pat, all right, let's see if we can add some more fiber because we're not hitting that goal. Or let's get to our water goal. Or let's increase from just walking every day to now we need to ideally hit 3 resistance training sessions a week. So taking things slow is,
Important.
yeah, you try and stack too many habits all at one time and you're going to get overwhelmed.
Mhm.
You just are. And then you're gonna quit. That's why people most of the time quit any kind of health or fitness challenge is they started too strong and burnt out within a couple of weeks. And they feel like it's too much to do all at once. Or they fail because they couldn't hit all those targets all at once
And then they don't restart.
because they think they don't see results because they
Mhm.
didn't hit those targets, but they think they're a failure. So giving them grace and slowly working their way up.
Yeah. What about the people that have their goal, they understand the why, and they're committed to doing it, but maybe the people around them, intentionally or unintentionally, probably most of the time, sabotage the work that they're doing?
Yeah, that's a that's a hot topic.
I mean, we might know something about that.
I deal with people all the time, whether they're fitness clients or legionnaires that I'm coaching, and the person closest to them, usually the spouse, is not supportive for whatever reason. But typically, the reason that they're not supportive is because they don't understand that person's why. They don't
Mm.
understand why that person is doing what they're doing and how important it is to them. And so simply just having a conversation with that person that's not being supportive can make all the difference. And if it doesn't, which sometimes it doesn't, that's not
Mhm.
always going to be the end all be all, then I always just encourage them to prove it.
Mm.
Make them believe that this is a real thing that you're doing and they'll see like with fat loss clients, they'll see the results and then their spouse is like,
Wait a minute.
yeah, okay, let me do this too because they see that it worked. So yeah, it's one or the other. You're either going to have to convince them of why you're doing it and why it's important to you, or they're going to come around, but it's going to take time and you're going to have to make your transformation first and lead by example.
Why do you think we're so, and I'm using the word "we're" just very broadly, but why do you think we're so hesitant to share goals or reasons behind why we've set goals with other people?
Yeah, I mean, judgment for one. Everybody judges everybody all day long. Some people are just more outspoken about their judgments. And so that fear of judgment is always there, of course. But then also, I think there's a fear behind like, if you say that this is your goal, then you're like preemptively thinking of yourself as a failure if you don't hit that goal and you made it public, which I'm on 75 hard right now, and I'm doing it with a group of girls. So we have a group chat, and we check in with each other daily. And if anybody is struggling, we try to voice that struggle so that we can support each other. And one of the girls had just sent a message the other day that basically said, if it weren't for this group, then I would have quit.
Yeah.
because they wouldn't have made it known to anyone that they were doing 75 hard, which makes it so easy to then quit on themselves because there was no accountability. I think people are afraid of the accountability of putting themselves out there.
Yeah, isn't that funny? I did a post on that, I think it was yesterday, the day before on LinkedIn, which is basically why is it so hard to keep the promises that we make to ourselves? And I think on the one hand, it's because we're only accountable to ourselves. So there's no other level of accountability where we feel obligated to follow through for somebody else. But then on the flip side, it's like, but I don't want to tell anyone else because I might fail and I don't want anyone to know. So it's like this weird paradox of
Yeah.
having,
Yeah, exactly. It absolutely is. So, I mean, we have to just encourage each other to go for it. And if you fail, you fail. I mean, at least you tried,
yeah.
and that's something that I have not always had that mindset by any means. I was very much, it's funny that I'm sitting here like talking to you. This is no problem at all. But I used to be the shyest freaking person. Like,
No way.
not kidding. Go look back at my high school days, and I would have a near panic attack over having to give a presentation at school. I didn't want to talk in a group. I was very quiet individual unless I was with my group of friends. And I feel like I stayed like that up until here we go again with the Legionnaire program. It's
I was like,
literally changed
yeah.
everything about me in the best way. I'm more outgoing, I'm more confident, more knowledgeable, just all around a better human for being a part of the program and learning from all these amazing individuals, which I'm sure you can agree.
Yeah. I feel biased, but that's okay. Maybe, just share what the Legionnaire program is and what you're
Yeah.
a part of for people.
Yeah. For people who don't know,
What do
it
you do?
is First Forms. First Form is a supplement company based out of St. Louis, and their it's their ambassador program. But they take the ambassador program to another level. Most companies, they have ambassadors, but there's no program involved. It is just simply go out, promote the product. First Form goes above and beyond as they do with everything. They provide you with a coach in the program. They provide you with, all the tools to be able to grow your own business. They provide you with education for supplementation, nutrition, fitness, mindset, all of the above. All of that stuff is located easily for all the Legionnaires to utilize their tools and resources. There's millions of them. Plus, there's a huge community within the First Form space. So that's probably the most life-changing part of the program is the community. There's so
Mhm.
many people that are spread out across the country. We have Legionnaires in Canada as well. And it's a place where we can find others that are like us. All the people out there are in similar situations. They don't have, just like me, didn't have friends that were in this space who had the same mindset. And so you can find people
Yeah.
like you, which has been the best part.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I love the First Form community and the Legionnaire program, and obviously that's how you and I met, but community aspect is just so important, and that's, even if being a Legionnaire through First Form is not on someone's list of, top priorities in the next month,
Yeah.
finding a community of people that can support where you're at in your journey and what goals you're working towards is, in my opinion, one of the most critical pieces for success. So I'm glad that you shared that.
And there's all kinds of places you can find communities.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm in random communities now. I'm like, I didn't even know this existed on social media. And I'm like, I'm so glad I did because someone else.
Like, exactly.
Well, I want to be conscious of your time. So maybe one last question for you
Sure.
is, you've made great change in your life and you're doing a lot of wonderful things and you've got your big move coming up. But when you think about how you've led by example, what are you most proud of that your daughter would recognize and be proud of you for?
That's a good question. I would hope that life lessons that I've taught her, along with the people's lives that she's seen me change. She's been able to meet some of my clients who have made big changes, which is nice. She hears
Yeah.
me talking to them all day long.
All the time.
Just had a coaching call a couple hours ago. She's home. She does virtual schooling this year. She'll be in person next year. But yeah, I'm trying to raise her to be very aware of the world today. I know there's lots of parents that want to shield their children from the world.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those parents. I don't see the point. I want her to be fully prepared for adulthood when that time comes. She's 14. The world's a crazy place. When she moves out of the house, which I know she plans to do, um, I want her to be prepared. I want her to be prepared. I want to teach her the tools that I've learned, which is slowly happening. Teenagers are a whole another ball game. They're
Yep.
very much, they wanna do what they wanna do. But I've raised a good kid. She's a good one.
That's awesome.
I
I love
think
it.
done okay.
I I would second that. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story and just giving people some things that they can use to make better habits, make better choices if they have goals that they want to pursue and kind of how to get over some of those mental challenges that I think are so important. So, it was
Yeah.
awesome talking to you, and if someone wanted to reach you, how could they find you?
Yeah, at Firmer Fitness on Instagram or Hallie Firmer on Facebook. Either one, totally fine. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, sounds good, and I will talk to you soon, I'm
Yeah.
sure. All right. Thanks,
Absolutely.
Hallie.
See you, Lisa.
Hey, thanks for being here. If today sparked something in you, don't let it stop here. Hit subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes from Habitual Growth. When you subscribe, you'll constantly be in the know and always feeling your growth. Plus, by subscribing, you'll also help us reach more people who are looking to change their lives for the better. If you're ready to take real next steps towards becoming the person you were created to be, download the Habitual Growth app today. It's free to start, and it's built to help you take daily, doable actions towards a better you, mentally, physically, financially, and spiritually. You can also visit us at habitualgrowth.com to explore more about the brand and learn more about the app. As always, you can also send us an email at info@habitualgrowth.com or sign up for our newsletter if you have any questions, you need support, or you just want to share how your journey is going. We absolutely want to hear from you. So remember, at Habitual Growth, we believe that the most important investment you'll ever make is in yourself. And as the saying goes, the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. So get out there, start taking some action, and we'll see you next time.